Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm King Sway, and welcome back to King Sway Entertainment. Today we have ranking all 36 Elden Ring NPC quests from worst to best from Rusty. I don't think I've ever covered anything from this channel. I think this is the first, but I am playing Elden Ring right now on this channel. It's technically I beat it one time, and then I started playing it, and then I stopped. So this is technically my second full playthrough. So without further ado, we're going to jump into it.
Rank all the shields, I need to know. Ranking all katanas, ranking every particle effect. Elden Ring ranked types of grass gets closer and closer. And for my next video, I shall rank the crafting materials.
Rusty, have you ranked the skyboxes
if Rusty doesn't
yet?
eventually rank all the weapons
Still
we're
waiting for
rioting
that
in the
flora
streets.
and
I wonder if
fauna
he's ranked the
ranking.
churches. Yeah, but did you rank pots
the
already?
caves?
Just bite the bullet. Rank all the
Eventually
spirit
he
ashes.
has to get to
Ranking
that
the top
blade of
5
grass.
gave
Rank
him a
all
holy
the
rank all the
NPCs,
rank all the
aromatic,
rank all the
rank
rank
the
lines
best,
from
rank all
worst
the
to
best,
best.
rank all the
Okay,
best,
cool. Now
rank
rank all the room. Well, thanks for your suggestions, I guess.
That
Is
shit
this all I
seems-
am to you anymore? Jeez.
That shit seems like the comments in the comment section in one of my videos after I disagree with a fucking fandom. So, hey, bruh, I feel for you.
Remember back in the good old days when you could make actual content? Don't y'all want to see like some, I don't know, some cat videos or something? No? All right, fine. You guys can watch this instead. NordVPN? What are you doing here? God, this transition sucks. NordVPN can keep all of your data, personal information, and even search history hidden from ISPs that pretend they're interested in keeping all your stuff private, but really aren't. But a VPN also gives you more than that. You'd be surprised how rife public spaces are with criminals looking to make a quick buck or three off of your negligence, and that's even more dangerous when you can go hours or even days at a time without knowing you've been hit. In today's world, privacy has felt less like a right and more like a privilege, and it's one of those things that a lot of ISPs and businesses tend to only consider a crime if you're actually caught. It also comes with its own threat protection that identifies malware and trackers on your system. You may be internet savvy enough to know a Discord nitro scam when you see one, but scammers know to target the weakest links. A single NordVPN account can host up to 6 people, so you can bring the rest of your family onto your plan without needing to pay for any more than just a single plan. I said the word plan twice there. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it in. Who cares? If you sign up for an exclusive 2-year deal using my link in the description, you get 4 free months of service on top of that, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have plenty of time to reconsider if you're having second thoughts. Number 36, the Reminiscence paintings. I already ranked these, but people technically count these as quests for some reason. I don't know what constitutes a quest, but I feel like it should be more than an X marks the spot minigame.
Yeah, like somebody's got to say
Resident
something.
Evil? Do I get to harpoon a fish and sell it to Kale for a secret incantation no one knew about? The rewards are far from outstanding. You get a larval tier, which has a nice function, but isn't exactly rare once you hit Nokron and realize people are picking larval tiers out of their Cheerios every morning. A bug, a summon, a harp, a hood, a decent Ash of War that makes bows worth using, kinda, and the great privilege of being able to set yourself on fire, which gives you the opportunity to make your own emotionally themed paintings.
Well, fuck.
Number 35, Raya, and or Zorias. I think right about now is when I should be clarifying that this ranking has little to do with the quality of the NPCs themselves, but rather how natural the progression feels, how impactful the quest is to other events in their proximity, and just how good the rewards are. Rest assured, if this were strictly an NPC ranking, Celovus would be chilling right here in dead last just like he deserves.
Fuck that guy.
It's not like Raya is all that.
I'm stopping right here. No, actually, I find that ironic because I'm doing the Volcano Manor quest, and I haven't fought Rykard yet because I'm trying to. I don't remember whether or not you need to fight him to. Like, okay, if you fight him early, you can actually fight him pretty early. I don't know if you have to fight him early, and then you can still get the rose petal whip, or if you gotta do the whole quest and then go. So I don't want to miss out on the rose petal whip, so that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the whole quest. I know where he's at. I'm just not going to go fight him right now. Like, I can get there, I just don't want to fight him for the simple fact that, like I said, I want the rose petal whip, and I'm trying to do the Jarberg thing so that I can get 2 in the same playthrough. For those of you that don't know, Jarberg is it's one of those places where you blink and you miss it. It's in Liurnia, if I remember correctly. It's just what it sounds like. It's a bunch of living jars sitting there living peacefully, and some kind of I didn't do the quest right the first time, but I'm pretty sure he's going to explain it here. But since I admit it, but I didn't do it because if you do it right the first time, you can get a rose petal whip. And then when you do the Volcano Manor thing, you get another rose petal whip, so you can get two through in the first playthrough. But enough blabbing.
Memorable either, right? Yeah, you guys remember Raya, the hunchback of Volcano Manor? This is way too much legwork to just watch some chick turn into a lizard. But Datakar's woe is the kind of talisman there's just barely enough support for me to be afraid of saying anything bad about it. Wait a minute, no I'm not. Shit's trash. Leave it alone. Number 34, Preceptor Celavus. I honestly don't think this guy has a single supporter in this entire community. It's genuinely impressive how unanimously disrespected this dude is. This game's community really does come together on some of the oddest subjects. We can't talk about something as simple as a weapons tier list without someone getting verbally disemboweled for expressing a fondness of whatever greatsword people don't like this week. But there are fewer senses of unity stronger and more ironclad than a 20 million player-sized middle finger to what might be the most morally unpleasant, rejectable NPC Miyazaki has ever non-consensually placed in our laps. Go fuck a puppet fucker. Take your stupid rewards with you. Number 33, Sorcerer Roger. This dude really deserves so much
is a good
better.
guy.
Look
I
at
like
this
him.
drip. Man probably could have courted Cleopatra if he wanted, but he spends his last days as a tier 3 sub sinking into a sofa while his E-princess hugs everyone except him in the next room over. There isn't a single reward given by this questline that you can't just naturally obtain by talking to Roger at Stormvale, sending him to the round table, and just waiting for him to bite the dust. If I can just keep playing the game for 2 hours and then stop by later to loot his +8 sword off his corpse, that's not a quest reward, that's a drop. Get the knife print and return to Roger, and he then tells you to find Ronnie. Why do I need to return to the round table and tell him Ronnie rejected all my advances? Is this how you boost your confidence or something? Your life savings is being held captive over Fia's feet pics. I don't have to listen to a single word you say.
Let's bring in the holidays together. It's Mariah season.
Holy shit, man. Fuck you, Mariah Carey. Interrupted my video, bitch.
Number 32, Hieta. Hieta's questline looks very inconspicuous at a glance. All you really do is feed a woman weird yellow grapes for 5 interactions, and then whoops, just unlocked the bad ending. Whoops, Melina just ghosted me and I'm pretty sure she wants me dead. Whoops, bitch is on fire. Sorry, here, have another grape. It took forever.
I love his comedic timing. Whoops, this bitch is on fire. Just, I'm sorry, because that'd be me. Whoops, that bitch caught on fire. Like, just, yeah, just, like I said, obviously you see I'm laughing. Just, that shit is nuts. Like, whoops, this bitch is on fire. Is it 5 interactions? I don't know. I know that, her body isn't originally hers. It belongs to the chick whose dad was in the fort, Morn Fort or whatever the fuck it is. And you got to get the sword away from the Misbegotten. And when you beat the Misbegotten and show that you have it, and then her dad's like, yeah, now I'm gonna go spend time with my daughter. And then he goes and he goes down, and then he goes, oh shit, my daughter's dead. Why the fuck did I stay at that castle? I could have just gone with you. And then her body disappears, and then this bitch shows up. And the reason I say I'm pretty sure that she got possessed, Yura, I think that's his name. He gets possessed by Shabriri later on. If you complete his quest line, even if you don't complete his quest line, he gets possessed because he dies at the hands of Eleanor or Eleonora. I don't remember which one. I think it's Eleanor, because Eleanor's Pole. He dies at her hands. You get his weapon. You got to beat her, and then you get her shit, and then you get his stuff, and then he gets possessed by Shabriri. So that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure that's the same person.
ever for me to actually find the appropriate locations, and when I did, I still never felt like I was doing something right. I was just giving this woman weird grapes slash eyeballs. Why is this
I
a
was gonna say
quest? And the
eyeballs.
rewards are as
Eyeballs.
follows. One gesture, a pair of cosplay contacts, and the frenzied flame seal. Which okay, can we talk about this seal for a minute? When are you ever going to need a no requirement seal this late into the game? I've seen so many people try to argue a case for this thing, and I just don't see it. Having no stat requirements has led a lot of people to say this seal is great for non-faith builds who want to cast beginner incantations. But are you really having that much trouble meeting the finger seal's head in the clouds ask of 10 faith? It can be picked up from the twin maidens as soon as you get to the round table. The fucking vagabond can use this seal with one measly level. Just help me understand, please. Number 31, Gatekeeper Gustok. Gustok's quest line is just something that completes itself in the background while you're busy doing more important things. Talk to him at Stormvale, doesn't matter which option you pick, go inside this door and get ambushed by the Banished Knight, and then kill the Lord of all that's insecure, and fucking bam. You don't need to revisit this quest line again until you've put down Morgott 6 hours later when you forgot about his existence entirely. There are also 2 other entirely separate quest lines tied to this quest's completion and to Gustok opening his shop again. Not sure what kind of inventory he's peddling. Bitch looks homeless, but he does sell you an ancient dragon smithing stone for 20,000 runes. Jesus Christ. Oh, okay, I see the arrangement now. I'm the one funding your fucking shop. Is that it? Number 30, Gowrie. I can already tell we're gonna run into a lot of quests like this. Overlapping side quests are one thing, but having an NPC quest line facilitated by the existence of another quest line.
Look, I'm staring at the sword, his great sword. I don't use great swords. I like to use katanas, kiss my ass. I like bleed builds, but I also like the silver the Moonveil katana because of the Getsuga Tensho. Yeah, I called it a Getsuga Tensho instead of Transient Moonlight. I like that, but that looks like the sword. What was it? Dark Souls 3. The Legionnaires. Looks like some that they use, or even if not that, something. What the frick is that guy's name? I can't remember. He was left-handed, and he got his left arm broken, so he learned to fight with his right hand because he couldn't use his left arm anymore. He's got the giant wolf from Dark Souls 1. I can't remember this guy's name to save my life right now because I used his armor in, like, I want to say Dark Souls 3. Excuse me. Because he was a hard-ass boss in Dark Souls, the remastered thing. It'll come to me, but right now is not the time. But anyway, no, yeah. Gowrie is a pest. I'm not talking about, oh, hey, I need to get rid of him. I'm talking about those bug-like creatures that with the dangly arms going down. He's one of them. If you kill him, you find that out. I didn't kill him. The only reason I know is I know somebody that did. It was like, I wonder what happened. Slash! And he dies. That's actually, which makes sense because he teaches you pest, fix this right here. He teaches you pest, sorceries. The pest threads and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Is just a bag of bricks, pants on head, stupid. Want to know the first task you're given for Gowrie's questline? Go find the AIDS general somewhere in the swamp and get his needle or whatever. Then find Millicent and
give it to her.
And finish her questline. So you're sending me to do another NPC's quest? Sorry, can't talk to you till you're done. Number 29, Kenneth Height. I'm sorry.
I've never done his quest.
Important again? And why is he asking me to go sack a random knight into fort that doesn't matter? Actually, do you even explain why this fort's so important? I don't even think he says anything notable outside of just repeatedly saying it's his fort and those are his men. Do whatever he wants and he'll give you an Erdsteel dagger. Wonderful. A weapon that doesn't get good until the mid-game, which just so happens to be exactly when you find another one. I don't know about this guy. The whole air of him just reeks of crypto scams and taking shit personally. I can't bring myself to trust anyone who uses the phrase jumped up.
I'm looking at his swords. I don't know those.
Another man, no matter how pathetic he is. Number 28, the Jar Baron. Now,
what was I saying about Jarberg?
I like the NPC by himself. I think he's a good character. A quest with this many prerequisites and handbrake turns, however, should not be rendered inaccessible just because I got slippery fingers and my halberd suddenly wedged itself inside the stomach of one of his brothers. Meet and save Alexander at least once, exhaust some dialogue, reload the area, exhaust some dialogue, make some headway away on Dialos' questline, reload, talk to Dialos and try to calm him down before he does anything stupid. Return to Jarburg and see Dialos doing something stupid, only not that stupid because he was actually defending the jars from poachers or something. Reload, talk to the Baron, reload again, talk to the damn Baron, holy shit, stop this. Follow Alexander all the way to Fara Missoula to finish his quest, give the Baron his guts as a gift. Oh, never mind, accidentally kicked over a trash can or something and now he won't talk to me anymore. Cool, good quest. Number 27, Rodrika. Rodrika can be found inside the Stormhill Shack, lamenting over what a craven
In my
she is
gameplay,
and how
her
scary
cloak,
spiders
that's
are,
what I'm using.
Whatever the fuck. Okay,
because
we
it
don't care. This quest is like
increases
10 minutes
hit points,
long. It
and
literally
I want hit
auto-completes
points.
itself once you journey past Stormvale. So you can just talk to her, rendezvous at the round table, and then take that weird path to the right and glide around Stormvale Castle, and you can finish up Rodrika's entire quest line in less than a minute. The Chrysalids memento doesn't even matter. You can bypass it completely, and the game will just shrug its shoulders and be like, shit, fine, whatever, and just open up spirit tuning for you anyways. I almost wish this video had slightly different criteria, because then I could
this
just
one.
wedge in the jellyfish quest and tell you how good that one was, but no, you're getting this one instead. Number 26, Gorenk. This egg hunt wouldn't be nearly as frustrating if it didn't take 6 death root to finally start getting decent rewards. Clawmark Seal is bad. It's just bad. Bestial Sling has been tumbling down an 89-degree slope for months now, and Beast Roar is actually pretty damn good. I have no idea what exactly happens here, but mouth foam over your little goodie basket for too long and he gets baby mad like a broomstick broke off in his ass and starts attacking you for no reason. He's almost always going to be too strong for you at the
This dude loves talking shit about as much as I do. I liked it. Like I said, I haven't really watched Rusty too much. Like I've seen a weapons list here or there from him, but I've watched a lot of things because I like that when I restarted playing Elden Ring. I like to try and do things over. Like I tried to get if you've watched, go watch my Elden Ring videos. Yeah, my Elden Ring gameplay videos. I've gone to try and shank the shit out of everything from asshole to earhole and try and do it over, like trying to get as overpowered as quickly as possible. That's why I watched the tiers list and where to get them. I got right now in my personal plays, I have the Meteoric Orblade in my left hand and the Moonveil on my right. But Gorenk beat my ass several times. When he goes mad,
the level you're probably at. So if you want to continue harvesting those rewards, your best chance is to just aggro the Black Blade outside and hope Gorenk gets bitch slapped by it before you do. There's no way this is the intended method. It just can't be. But this is North Caelid scaling. I've only found 4 death root. I'm not even through Liurnia yet. Can we show some patience? Fortunately, the second half of the quest rewards actually get pretty high quality. He ends up giving you Stone of Gorenk, the Beast Claw Great Hammer, and even an Ancient Smithing Stone. So if you remember to even come back here when you're strong enough to finally kick his ass, I guess it's kind of worth it. Number 25, D, Hunter of the Dead. Not really a lot going on with this guy. It only ever seems like D's existence is to facilitate the quest lines of other more important NPCs. He tells you how dangerous the Tibia Mariners are, which is already a big fat doubt right out of the gate, and once you kill it and seize its death root, he just shrugs his shoulders like, fine, bitch, think you can do my job? Here's Gorenk, here's the Sending Gate, I'm gonna go get stabbed by Mrs. OnlyFans over there.
Here's one thing you need to do before buying anything online. Don't spend another dime on
Mrs.
Amazon
OnlyFans.
first. Watch
Hold on
this.
1 second. Fuck all
Show
that.
you how to get the sweetest deals
no.
online when you
I have a
shop
touch
from
screen.
retailers like
Number 24, Shabriri.
I was just saying
This
that.
line only begins in the mountaintops, and I'm pretty sure you could actually try to screw up Yura's quest as much as any human possibly could. You could delete Yura from the game, and Shabriri would still just show up in a checkered, textureless version of his clothes. There's no stopping the appearance of this quest line. It just doesn't happen. Shabriri standing here next to this boulder is as inevitable as daylight itself. So that means it has to be, like, important, right? Well, he essentially just tells you how awesome the frenzied ending is and how cool it would be if you went and did it. With the same energy of a cop teaching a middle schooler how to say no to drugs.
how to say no to drugs.
Go and complete Hieda's quest line while you're there, I guess, and he just starts screaming his balls off when you come back to him. Number 23, D, Beholder of Death. D's twin brother, the Beholder, has a slightly more interesting quest line, and that
one of them is a
the opportunity
homunculus.
to fork into different paths.
I think it's the
depending
brother.
on who kills his brother. But ultimately, ultimately yields no interesting rewards for either outcome. If you give him the twin set after Fia kills D, he appears as a summonable phantom for the Valiant Gargoyles fight, and then he'll be found mourning in front of Godwin's body in the Deeproot Depths with a bloodied sword and Fia's dead corpse just laying right there. But if you kill him and then give D the Beholder the twin set, he becomes hostile when you reload the area. It's a nice expansion of the game's backstory, but the actual tangible rewards you get are
I've never
boring.
fought him.
Number 22, the Dung Eater. The Dung Eater is a fat sack of bloat.
Okay, I don't know if he's gonna bring that up, bring this up. You can get him as a puppet. You can get him as a summon. It takes a lot. Like, you don't give Ronnie the knife, because if you give Ronnie the knife, that's when you're screwed. I gotta go back to remembering how everything goes. But yeah, you can get him as a puppet summon, and he's actually a pretty strong summon. He's up there with the Mimic Tier and the Black Knife.
Loaded crap that constantly goes around thinking he's stronger than he is. He can very easily kill the Blackguard towards the end of his quest if you're clumsy and overlap the progression of the quest lines in a weird way. So if you've been progressing the Blackguard's quest line far enough to where he appears in Altus for the first time,
gonna
you've
die.
pretty much sealed the fate of his untimely death. Do this quest first if it really matters that much to you to begin with, and then just forego the Volcano Manor quest line for now and go buy prawns from Bogart once you've advanced the Dung Eater quest line along enough. Following this quest line actively puts other people in danger, and you have to jump through a bunch of weird fucking hoops just to keep everyone safe. He's called Loathsome for a reason. His puppet is one of the best spirit summons in the game, too.
What was I saying? What was I saying?
To justify the Celavist quest. Number 21, Corhin. Corhin's quest involves a whole lot of talking, and
I never
Elden
completed
is
that
not a
one,
dating sim.
but I know it's got
I've
the
already
gold
done
mask.
videos on plenty of those already, apparently. Talk to him in this location, talk to him over here in this other location now, then talk to him here, talk to him over there. Holy fuck, I'm gonna hate myself for typing this because that means I'll have to start a whole new save file just for the goddamn quest. The ending it unlocks is one of the more coveted endings in the community, and I'm willing to show a bit of patience to the rest of the quest line for that reason, but Corhin as an NPC is just very boring. Literally in the first dialogue sequence, he tells you he teaches the strength of the two fingers, but hand him the prayer book and ask him to teach you a spell or two, and he just looks at you like you whipped your dick out in the middle of church. It's just a pair of healing spells. How is this a heresy? Is wanting to live a fucking dissidence in this timeline? Number 20, Gideon Offnir.
Fuck this
Accumulating
dude.
knowledge? You're accumulating dust from standing in the same two goddamn spots for the whole game. Do you even have legs? You stand behind this stupid desk all day, and the only time you actually get up off your ass is to tell me you've been plotting against me all along. None of what you gave me is even good. Even Divine Fortification only slaps as abusively hard as it does because of the sudden damage spike towards the endgame. It almost feels necessary, but it is entertaining to exhaust his first bits of dialogue because it allows you to hear phrases
Death
you never
pokers.
knew you needed to, like Namby-Pamby Tarnished. Wow, they actually put my granddad in the game. They did it. Number 19, Nefeli Lu. Nefeli's quest line is introduced by her standing over somebody that I'm sure meant something to someone at some point.
Somebody that I used to know.
Quest lines that once you defeat Morgoth, we'll have them rendezvous at the center of Godric's throne and throw a "you're gonna kick ass" party, only instead of confetti, they just stand in an awkward formation and compliment you for 2 minutes and then leave. Nefeli's quest is slightly more eventful than the other two. One tries to kill you like 5 times without your technical knowing, and the other
fuck
gives the
that guy.
impression of a failed CEO of a company that hasn't been around for 15 years and doesn't want to admit he can barely afford rent. Nefeli, on the other hand, gives me an arsenal charm. So, small benefit, I guess. Number 18, Fia. This quest would actually be kind of enjoyable to follow if it didn't require you to contract an STD just to further the dialogue. Shit happens like 5 times, and I'm never...
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. And the reason I'm stopping it is because you gotta actually pay attention to what happens when you let Fia hug you. She gives you this thing, but it's also it's a debuff in there, and you got like 4% less health, and you got or you have to use the thing to get rid of it. This it's a defense buff, if I remember correctly. But continuing.
Never completely sure if what I've done advances the dialogue, so sometimes you'll just get hugged and she doesn't even say anything different and you're just left with her little shitty parting gift. Continuing the quest, however, opens you up to experiencing probably one of the coolest dragon bosses in the game. Meet up with her in the Nameless City, give her the curse mark, watch her advertise her OnlyFans for a couple minutes, and then enter the dream. I really like the dragon fight, but I don't like how I have to slap my way through her simp army to get to it.
Yeah,
I like the
that's some
cool
bullshit.
area, but I don't like how easy it is to miss otherwise. I don't know. now. There's lots of highs and lows with this quest, so I think it's most appropriate
You
to
gotta
just
fight.
put it somewhere in the middle. The exact middle, to be precise. Number 17, patches. Lots of trivial,
You have to
meaningless
fight
rewards to
3
be gathered
dudes,
here.
one-on-one,
The
and then
two
3 dudes
exceptions being
altogether.
The Magma Whip Candlestick patches gives you after killing Tragoth, and Tragoth dropping the Bullgoat set, which, if you're going solely by the numbers, is probably the single greatest heavy armor set in the game. It's also home to one of the most underwhelming gotcha moments of all time, since his chest trap sends you into the woods of Limgrave, but if you've been inside the Murkwater cave at all, then you can just, teleport back. So what's the point? It's still worth seeing his quest through to Liurnia because he divulges some info about the awkwardly placed turbo virgin inside Rhea Lucaria that kidnaps you and takes you straight to Volcano Manor, where Patches ends up anyways. Get on Tanith's good side and complete one of her requests, then find him somewhere in the manor and he'll tell you to go and take a big old poop on Tragoth near the ruin-strewn precipice before where you fought Makar. He continues his reputation of trying to look like he's inconveniencing you but secretly helping you along the way, pushing you right to where you need to go. He even sells you Margit's Shackle, which works twice on Margit's fight in Limgrave and once on Morgod and Lanedell. He's surprisingly very helpful, even
I
if
haven't-
the
I
level
haven't
set
used
and
it.
that +7 spear does start looking pretty shiny when he kicks you down that fucking cliff. Number 16, Irina and Edgar. Her questline doesn't give you a lot equipment-wise, but the true
What was I
reward
telling
comes
about,
from the heavy emotional weight you must carry when
the chick
facing
that Hayata,
cruelty of the world
possesses?
you trapped yourself
This
in.
is the one.
Delivering Irina's letter to Edgar gets you this monologue about how he's really bad at paying child support or something, and he needs to go stay with his weird derelict castle for a few minutes before coming to his senses. So go kill his boogeyman down near the lake, get a legendary armament, and head back to Edgar to give him the all good. He'll feel a weight lifted and returns to Irina only to find her dead on the ground with a meat cleaver buried into her spine. He invades you inside the Revenger's shack in Liurnia and drops one of those Shabriri grapes. This is one of those few cases where I actually feel like putting him down when he's still in the castle and looting his halberd might be the morally superior option. Number 15, Insha.
Fuck
Insha's
that guy.
quest is the kind of quest line that other quest lines should aspire to be like. If you're going to drag my ass all the way across numerous biomes and landmarks, lecturing me over the symbolism of some dude who tied a golden dinner plate around his face and now people just like him for some reason, at least have the courtesy of making it worth my while. I have no goddamn idea who Insha is, and I go to sleep every night without giving a shit. All I know is it takes exactly 2 steps to complete the quest line. Talk to him and get one of
Those
the
are
greatest
falchions.
gestures in the game, then take a trip
No,
over
they're
to
not.
Albus Dumbledore or whatever
Scimitars.
his name is and receive the half medallion, then head back to the round table
And Insha
kick his
attacks
bloody
you.
ass back to whatever season of JoJo's he fucking came from. You get an armor set with a really useful passive, a cool gesture, and the clinging bone, which is the proud owner of one of the most underrated weapon skills in the game. Be more like Insha. Be like Insha and stay the fuck quiet unless spoken to. Number 14, White Mask Vare.
I just
Go heat
started
yourself
doing that
up some
quest.
rice and vice grip that Y button.
But yeah,
'cause
I'm
you got
doing
a
that
real
because
talker.
the,
Exhaust
of
Vare's
the,
dialogue the first time you see him.
the
Go to the
abil-
round
the-
table
the-
and
the-
exhaust the dialogue.
the
of
runes.
Everyone,
The rune
every
farm.
single person there. Then return to Vare and listen to his weird trauma dump or whatever. Defeat Godric, head back to Vare for a chat, talk with him again at the Roast Church in Liurnia. Then he'll give you 5 bloody fingers with which you... Oh, fuck. I have to go online. I have to invade people. Well, see ya, cheat engine. Once you've invaded 3 people, soak the Lord of Blood's favor in the blood of a deceased finger maiden at either the Church of Inhibition or the Chapel
where you
of
start-
Anticipation. Now it's time to collect one of the greatest rewards in the whole game. An inexhaustible shortcut straight to Mogwin Palace and a big mountain-sized middle finger to those cunts in the snowfields. The importance of opening up the palace this early is that it has the 2nd highest enemy scaling in the entire game, surpassed only by Elfile. So killing any single mob here can get you like 2 whole levels. A pretty incredible reward, even if it does break your progression for the rest of the game. Number 13, Bach. Yeah, I know, the quest items are shit, and the only notable thing it unlocks is one of the most pointless features in the game that so brazenly shows off what little time everyone spent on the backs of all the caped armors, but I don't have the cruelty in me to rank his quest based solely on that. None of the graces in which you run into him are really all that out of the way, which was perhaps a deliberate choice. Even Melina approaches you at one point, just pleading with you like someone's little sister trying
Yeah,
to adopt
don't be
a
addicted to this
disabled
guy.
dog, to just like, I don't know, be nice to him for fuck's sake. Purchase some new demigod drip from Enya and then give him the gold sewing needle you get from the Chapel of Anticipation, at which point he will then be asked to be rebirthed by Renala, and then the quest just pulls the greatest handbrake left turn out of its
Don't
ass.
do it.
Watch this.
I was just about to say that. And he'll stay as a demi-human.
My mum speaking.
Are you hearing this shit? I can't stress enough what a rare occurrence it is to actually be able to choose how you respond to people in this game's dialogue sequence. I could have used this for such a greater purpose. I could have went for the frenzied ending and told Melina, wait, it's okay. I'm going to travel through the shitty bowels of time itself to kill a dragon lord and vanquish the frenzy inside me so lords in the future don't have to deal with their regret. But instead it's given to a random side quest involving a physically insecure demi-human who misses his mom and just wants to make armor worse. You know what? I'm getting pissed. I'm moving on before I change my fucking mind. Number 12, Sorceress Selen.
She doesn't get a happy ending either.
Some of the hardest hitting bacon and eggs grand slam sorceries you'll ever need, including Shard Spiral, Glintstone Comet Shard, and Stars of Ruin, which isn't that great, but you'll still get Star Shower either way, so who cares? Find Comet Azur near the demi-human queen boss behind Mount Gelmir, and then tell her you found her master. She'll then give you the Celian Seal Breaker that dispels the barrier blocking access to the Celia hideaway in Caelid. Finding both masters opens up new dialogue at her location in the Witchbane
Overused in PvP. Fuck that.
Using a projector screen or something to appear in the Waypoint ruins. I don't know. Weird fucking sorcery magic or something. I don't know. You came to the wrong place for that explanation. All I know is I want that sorcery too. Get her ass out of Witchbane ruins before you defeat Radahn. Otherwise, Jaren will find her and kill her and end the rest of her questline. Extract her primal glintstone and then find her puppet duplicate near Ranni's Rise and revive her there. Go and kill Radahn. Then go to the basement of Witchbane's ruins to cue some dialogue with Jaren. Jesus shit, this footage is gonna be a nightmare. Once Rennala is defeated, 2 summon signs will appear near the Grand Library Grace where you can choose to either help or challenge Selen. Help her and regain access to her shop now with Shard Spiral, the Witch Hunter drop, and the Glintstone Chris. And the reason I'm being so stringent on outlining the entire quest here is because I've been mispronouncing Azur for over a year now, and not a single comment has ever corrected me on it. So I get the feeling most of you freaks just wrote a note near Waypoint ruins like Foot Goddess or something and then immediately forgot she existed. Go do the quest.
It says Comet Azur.
Promise. Number 11, Ranni. I don't think I need to walk people through this one. It's one of the most popular side quests that opens up probably the single most coveted ending in the game's community. You don't go hollow and get eternally hunted by your ex-wife, no one gets a free and mandatory shit mark from the Dung Eater, and everything in the game still gets wrested from the controlling, intolerant grasp of the Greater Will. It's also a surprisingly flexible quest that allows you to miss some earlier appearances and still end up finding her in Keep.
You do know Ronnie's the bad guy, right? All the suffering and everything that's going on, why the Elden Ring began to shatter and why everything started tumbling is because of Ranni. Now, it's theorized that it's Ranni and Queen Marika, but I'm saying it's just Ranni because she conscripted the Knight of Black Knives. She wasn't happy with her station. It was like, yeah, can't. So, yeah. There's glintstone sorceries, and it's all has to do with stars and studying the stars, where glintstone comes from the ambient life of the stars or some stuff like that. I don't remember everything, but that's what I do remember, as I'm telling you. But she conscripted to kill one of her own siblings. Kind of sounds pretty screwed up in my personal opinion. And even then, she starts killing all of her own teammates. Blythe, EG, and that was my dude right there, EG. Yeah, and Blythe is actually pretty freaking cool. Though I never got his helmet. I never got that. I never got the mask. I need to go get that just so I can be like. But yeah, that's just my opinion on that. We're gonna continue.
Locations. Ranni's quest will be your sole reason for heading down into the Eternal Cities, through the Lake of Rot, and subsequently through Estelle's fuck ugly face, and finally to the Moonlight Altar. These locations are practically synonymous with Ranni's quest, only because you have little reason to visit these locations otherwise. If the Magic Scorpion Charm really means that much to you, continue Celivis's quest line up to when he gives you the amulet, and then give Ranni the Finger Slayer blade to turn him into a puppet. Good. Oh, and I guess the Dark Moon Greatsword's pretty cool. Number 10, Bloody Finger Hunter Yura. Yura has some
My
pretty
man.
amusing dialogue that isn't exactly hidden, but kind of hard to find if you don't know to look for it. During his first interaction, he'll warn you about a dragon hanging out near the lake.
I
Go
give.
and die to it, and then return to Yura, and he'll lecture you about what a massive throbbing dumbass you are for picking a fight with a dragon. Further his quest line by helping him execute Bloody Finger Phantoms, starting with Nereus near the river leading to
Oh,
the
this is
Water
new.
Cave, the Raven Mount Assassin, and then finally Eleonora. This quest offers two of the sweetest arcane weapons available, the Reduvia and Eleonora's Pole Blade, in addition to giving you the Raptor of the Mist Sash. It's a pretty streamlined quest with very little deviation, but the abrupt ending where you just show up in the mountaintops and find out his body is now being puppeted by this blah ass face is a bit of a mood killer. No matter where you are in his quest, showing up to the mountaintops will lock you out of whatever you haven't finished. So does Eleonora even defeat him in this case? Who kills him? Maybe a stray goat busted his kneecap on the way to the second church and he just decided
Okay,
that's
so,
where he's
yeah.
gonna clock out.
Look, the reason I had a slight concerned face because he said showing up to the mountaintops locks you out. I did those too. All right, good. Because I hunted guy and you get the Reduvia, and then I went to the magic school, and then I hunted the other guy. I didn't know it locks you out. Like, I don't claim to know everything about this game. Sometimes when I do these videos, I learn things. Sometimes when I do these videos, I teach you guys things. Like, there's an Agent Jake video. I'm pretty sure I referenced it from time to time because I still get comments on that saying thank you. An Agent Jake video where I told it's when you get that city. I think it's in the snowfields, and you got to do. But it's the female Abenorics. They're sniping the shit out you from above, and then you try to sneak out, but it's invisible black knife daggers that'll kill you. Now, what you do is you get the torch that reveals hidden things, and then whatever weapon you got in the right hand, you two-hand that. When you put the torch on your back, the light isn't great, but you can still see hidden things, so you can still fight them. The hidden the daggers. Now, like I said, when I did the video a long time ago, but for those of you that don't know, yeah, still you're welcome. But yeah, people were like, "Oh shit, I never knew that. Thanks for that." And that particular Agent Jake video, I was told he took that down, so my video is the only copy of that video, I guess you could say. But moving on.
Fuck, I don't know, write your own ending. Number 9, Tanith. Never has there been a more straightforward quest line. She doesn't budge an inch during any of the missions she gives you. She isn't gone shopping for milk when you're halfway through the manor letters or something. She always has a good word for you when you're done, and going against the Erdtree and the Greater Will is the morally correct decision, making this one of my favorite quest lines available in the game. The rewards
I just noticed that painting.
on the
Okay.
other hand are almost entirely
I just noticed the painting in the background. It's of Rykard, but you can see the little hands coming up. And it reminds me of the Blasphemous Blade. I never bothered to look at the painting. This was the first time, so I thought that was pretty neat. I guess call it Easter egg.
worth passing over, save for two standouts, being the Pedal Whip and the Magma Shot. I would almost wish that every quest in Elden Ring were this linear, but that's also risking most of your story-driven elements becoming really boring to follow. I get why it's necessary, I'm just bitching. That's what I'm known for. Number 8, Blythe. Blythe has a very flexible quest line, and I think most of that is due to just how many steps there are in actually completing it. I think someone may have went back and tested its progression, and once he started growing a beard and missing his family, an executive decision was made to allow the player to maybe skip a few steps on the way. This is why Radahn's defeat ended up being established as a fast-forward button for a few different quests, at least, I think. The second half of the quest involves freeing Blythe from the Forlorn Hound Everjail where you killed Darrowil, and I don't think how you do the first part of the quest really impacts whether or not he's imprisoned, because searching Blythe D returns a higher result for dating sim than it does the actual name of the goddamn boss, so I'm just going to assume it doesn't matter. Number 7, Lieutenant. In addition to just outright handing you what may well be one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful ranged summon in the game, it's also a quest that I have a great deal of respect for, simply because it's just easy to follow. You see that tree? You see those fields of consecrated snow beneath it?
Get her
Want to
there.
guess what that area is called? Well, after digging up the two halves of the secret medallion, we can find out for ourselves. Latina has a line of dialogue that vaguely suggests the location of the second medallion half, but there's a chance you'll have no idea what she's even talking about because the castle she's referring to doesn't appear on the map until you've made it to the mountaintops. Latina even lets you know you're getting close because a unique line of dialogue plays once you've entered the snowfields. From there, the path is surprisingly unobstructed, save a couple staged invasions. Summoning her at the altar of the apostate derelict gives you an ancient somber stone, and you even get to keep the summon. Number 6, Bernal. Bernal's quest line gives you some mixed rewards regardless of how far you see his quest through, but defeating Reichard and then exhausting his dialogue means he does become summonable for the Godskin duo fight, even if he does bring a fire weapon with him, which is a bit dull.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Apparently, I fucked myself. Once I bought everything from Bernal, I killed him. And he flat out says Volcano Manor awaits. And he attacks you here, if I remember, not this particular area, but at Faramazula. So, like I said, sometimes I teach y'all shit, sometimes I learn shit. This is me learning something. I feel dumb.
Probably a lack of foresight, if I'm being honest. This also involves one of my favorite plot twist moments that can only be fully enjoyed if you first meet Bernal at the War Master's shack in Limgrave, talking up what a massive supporter of the Erdtree he is, and now suddenly finding him in the manor swearing on his life that he'll sever Radagon's balls with a cafeteria spork leaves a much weightier impact. You have the opportunity to fight alongside Bernal 2 different times. Firstly, when invading Vargrim and Wilhelm, and secondly, when fighting the Godskin duo, which decently builds up the conclusion of you two finally facing off in Farum.
What was I saying?
Power or Scepter isn't the greatest drop, but the Beast Champion set gives you some context as to why Bernal suddenly went off the deep end when his maiden gave herself to the frenzied flame. Or she may have just taken a cannon.
Okay, so he's using
not really sure what's being
something to reskin because in his thing it's got it as the Bloodhound blade, but it looks like the thing from Dark Souls.
Accept that being on the receiving end of someone else's currently shitting ass is just another Tuesday. Bogart initially reads you as a punk, and whether or not he's actually correct is determined by your response to him telling you to fuck off. Buy Raya's necklace from him and it'll open the shop. Buying prawns from him befriends him and furthers his questline. From here, it's very easy to accidentally kill him if you push the Dung Eater's quest far enough to where he appears outside the outer moat in Lanedell. Going to Volcano Manor locks you out of Bogart's quest entirely, but you can forego this area and finish Dung Eater's quest first before making any headway on Bogart's questline. Or just don't do the Dung Eater quest. That's a novel idea. That might be a tall order for some, but Bogart is number 5 for a reason. Endless physical damage negation items is worth trading 10 Dung Eater endings for in my book, and if that remark ends up offending some 22-year-old man in the town of Fucknuts, Kentucky with a 6-digit amount of Reddit karma and a shrine devoted to Millicent's thighs, then I will happily accept that as part of my job description. Number 4, Millicent.
They're coming straight in. Trust me, I've got nothing.
Sniper rifle. Leaving this in because I had a channel that I haven't worked with for a while.
Seriously, what's the move?
Cinematech Game Cinematics. I don't remember the exact name. If you give me a second, I can actually get it up for you. Like I said, I haven't worked the channel in a while, and I actually use the black guy as the Cinematech Gamer Clips. That's what the channel that and I got to get back to doing that. No, whatever it is, it ain't good, obviously.
This quest line is sort of controversial for a few different reasons. Firstly, its length. Millicent's quest line begins as you complete the first step in Gowry's quest for the Golden Needle and use it to quell the Scarlet Rot inside Millicent's body. Subsequently, she appears at the Church of the Plague, Gowry's Shack, Erdtree Gazing Hill, at which point you give her the Valkyrie's prosthesis from inside the Shaded Castle, Windmill Heights, Ancient Snow Valley, the Prayer Room just inside Elfile, and finally near the Drainage Channel Grace where the Herpes Lake is. That's a lot to digest, but it is one of
Herpes,
two
my
popular
ass,
quests
AIDS.
that guide you toward the optional areas of the end game and basically showing you where those areas are. Secondly, the Putrid Spirit.
That kept whooping my ass. I beat him on my second playthrough, not my first.
Questline has a reward that's arguably just as coveted as the others, which is the Millicent's prosthesis talisman. This has branched into a very multifaceted debate where invading Millicent may be the less satisfying ending to her story, but the talisman might be worth it to a lot of players. Helping Millicent gets you the unalloyed Golden Needle, which in turn allows you access to Miquella's Needle after defeating Melania, which is a key item for reversing the effects of the Frenzy Flame when used at the arena of Dragonlord Placidus Axe. Don't worry, all of this is in the item descriptions. You don't need to read a wiki to remember this shit, I promise. Number 3, Fops. Fops is everything that a brilliant side quest should have, in my opinion. It's short enough to be confined in a single area while also giving you enough lore and additional context that properly explains the sideways fucked ethics of said area. You just talk to him in the Church of Aerith, find the second glintstone key near the rafters in the area just beside where you find the Azure Staff, give him the key, send him to his death, and then Fortnite-style shake his corpse loose for some of the most underrated quest rewards in the game. You receive the sorcery, Thops's Barrier, which is an outright middle finger to the very notion of bullet spam that's great against sorcerers and bosses of the final variety. And the Academy Glitch.
Well, I didn't know that.
Which is
Shit.
consistently found on the top 3 most powerful sorcery catalysts, regardless of intelligence level, and only starts getting nudged out of the way by objectively more powerful options like the 2 Grandmaster Staves and the Regal Scepter towards the endgame. Number 2, Dialos. Dialos is another case of how one can experience a great tragedy of some sort and then ultimately decide the fight for the Erdtree just isn't worth it. But instead of talking about how he wants to sip wine using the Elden Beast's arteries as a curly straw or something, he laments how easily he was taken advantage of and swept into the clutches of the Recusants, which I think makes him a tad more relatable as a character. From here, either finish the Tanith questline or defeat Rykard, and he'll move to Jarburg where the Jar Baron is. If he isn't there, make sure you've saved Alexander at least once and exhausted the Jar Baron's dialogue. Once Radahn is defeated, Jarburg will have finally been seized by the poachers the Jar Baron was warning of. Dialos tries to fend them off and does so successfully, kinda, but then succumbs
at the
to
cost of his life,
allowing the Jar Baron NPC some of the greatest dialogue lines I think I've heard in any quest. He's a top-shelf character that experiences a redemption arc after being thoroughly gaslit by Tanith and the Recusants, and it's the only way in the whole game to obtain 2 separate pedal whips without the need to roll over to New Game Plus. Number 1, Iron Fist Alexander. Jesus shit, this was not supposed to be a long video. Wonderful payoff, cool NPC fight, very exploration friendly since he appears in many areas, and his quest is just flexible enough to allow for a skip or 2 in the earlier sections. Shard of Alexander might be the single greatest talisman in the game. Kill him too early and the game itself punishes you with a significantly weaker talisman as your reward. As though Miyazaki himself is calling you out and telling you to dine on some scrotum salad for being so impatient and treating everything like a loot bag you can just bust open with a big stick, you buffoon. Learn to nurture some care for your goddamn brothers in arms, you piss-drenched vagrant. He literally falls on the ground in pieces at one point, and he's still talking shit, telling you how strong he's gonna get. And then he just goes and does it. He gets shit for being weak and a pushover because of his performance in the Radahn fight, but he is a porcelain tank against a fire giant, and he's one of the very few NPCs that actually make it all the way to the penultimate area of the game. Blythe couldn't make it, Dialos couldn't make it, he's stronger than most, he treats you with respect, and his last words could have made it into the draft of a Braveheart script.
All vessels are destined to one day break, but the great Alexander lived as a warrior to his last.
We're done. So, yeah, like, most of them don't have good endings. Like, Millicent doesn't have a good ending. Alexander does not. Dialos, Tanith, Tops, like, next to nobody has a good ending. except you can change Bach, because if you let him transform himself, he's good for a little bit, but when you reload the area, he's dead. So that's that. But if you give him the "You're beautiful" thing, he's good to go. Like, he stays as his demi-human self, and he's good to go. That's the only thing that actually keeps. I think that's the only good ending to a side quest, I think. But this video has drolled on long enough. I apologize. If you're new to the channel and like what you saw, even if you're not new to the channel and like what you saw, hit the like, subscribe button, hit the notification button, and the bell. I try to do upload dumps 1 to 2 times a week. Usually what I do is 2 to 3 videos per upload dump. And yeah, down in the description below will be links to the books that I have for sale on Amazon. As I state, I am currently writing several books, which takes time, for those of you wondering. If you go and look at the reviews of my books outside of Battle World, because some dude was just a fucking asshole on that one, 5 stars across the board. I've got action, I've got adventure, I've got romance. Yeah, I've got all kinds of things for people. In the meantime, in between time, I'm always with these peace signs. I'm your main man, King Sway, and I'll catch you in the next one.